Ladies and gentlemen, football fans across the nation, and especially you die-hard birds faithful tuning in from the city of brotherly love, can you believe it? The Philadelphia Eagles, your undefeated Eagles, are marching into Tampa Bay with a chip on their shoulder the size of the Liberty Bell, ready to shatter a ghost from their past that's haunted them like a bad dream after a midnight cheesesteak binge. It's 3-0 against the world, but oh boy, that record drops to 1-3 when they step foot in Raymond James Stadium against the Buccaneers. Folks, this Sunday afternoon clash isn't just a game. It's a reckoning, a 3-0 showdown between the only unbeaten teams left in the league. And the Eagles are hungry to flip the script on their unhappy history down in the swamp. Strap in, because we're diving deep into this NFC thriller that's got the whole league buzzing. Let's start with a big picture here, because if you're just joining us, you need to know the Eagles are on fire. A scorching 3-0 start that's got Lincoln Financial Field shaking like it's game day in 18 all over again. But these wins, they're gritty, they're gut-check affairs, totaling just 14 points across 3 nail-biters. Remember last weekend? Trailing the Rams 26-7 deep in the third quarter. Yes, that Rams team with a Hollywood flair, Jalen Hurts, and the boys pulled off some Hurts hocus pocus, as the headlines called it. 3 second-half touchdown strikes from Hurts, including bombs that lit up the Philly sky, and then bam, Jordan Davis, that massive nose tackle who's built like a walking refrigerator, blocks a field goal and rumbles 61 yards to the seal-the-deal score in a 33-26 comeback for the ages. What an unbelievable play. It's the kind of magic that reminds you why we love this sport. The underdog roar, the never-say-die spirit that's as green as the Eagles' jerseys. Over in Tampa, the Buccaneers are mirroring that drama, folks. They're 3-0 too, with all their victories coming down to a grand total of 6 points. Talk about living on the edge. Baker Mayfield, that scrappy gunslinger who's turned a career around like a comeback kid in a Rocky sequel, engineered another miracle last Sunday, down the wire against the Jets. He marches the Bucs right down the field for a game-winning field goal as the clock hits 0, 29-27. That's 3 straight weeks of last-minute heroics for Tampa, joining an elite club since 1970 with the 94 Giants and 17 Steelers. Mayfield got that Buccaneer swagger now, completing passes with precision and flashing that underdog grin. But here's the rub. The Bucs have owned the Eagles in their last 2 meetings at home, 33-16 last season, and that gut-wrenching 32-9 wild-card playoff beatdown after 2023. The Eagles are 19-1 since their last trip to Tampa almost a year ago, but those ghosts, they're lurking, ready to crash the party. Now, let's zoom in on the star power, because this game's got quarterbacks slinging it like it's the NFC Championship all over again. Jalen Hurts, our Alabama-bred, Oklahoma-honed dual-threat wizard, who's become the heartbeat of this franchise. At 27, he's already etched his name in Eagles lore, much like Donovan McNabb did back in the day with those no-look passes that had us all on the edge of our seats. This season, Hurts is a perfect 3-0 as a starter, but against Tampa, he's 1-3 lifetime, including that playoff heartbreaker. Last week, though, he erupted for 3 touchdown tosses in the second half alone. 33 yards to Devonta Smith slicing through coverage like a hot knife through butter, a sneaky 9-yarder to Dallas Goedert, and a dagger 4 yards to A.J. Brown to flip the script. Add in his rushing prowess. Another tush-push score, and Hurts is averaging over 70 yards on the ground per game. He's not just a quarterback. He's a conductor, orchestrating an offense that's top 10 in points despite the close calls. But Tampa's defense, led by Todd Bowles, that scheming mastermind who once terrorized offenses as a Jets coordinator, it's a blitz-heavy nightmare. Hurts himself said it best this week. Bowles has got a lot of tools and a lot of things in his system. What he does, that is very challenging. That's what makes him such a great team and a great defense. Jalen's got to channel that 2017 Super Bowl magic. You know, the one where Nick Foles, Underdog Eternal, outdueled Tom Brady with that Philly special trick play that still gives me chills. Flip the script to Baker Mayfield, the Ohio State rebel who's found his pirate ship in Tampa Bay. Drafted first overall in 2018 amid all that hype and heartbreak in Cleveland, Baker's bounced around like a pinball. Panthers, Rams, you name it, before Todd Bowles and the Bucs gave him the keys. Now, He's 6'4", 0 in touchdown-to-interception ratio through 3 games, with 167 yards and 3 scores in that Jets thriller alone. Mayfield got that gunslinger mentality, threading needles under pressure, and his Mayfield magic has the Bucs eyeing a 5th straight NFC South crown. But lose Mike Evans to that hamstring tweak for multiple weeks? Oof, that's a blow. Evans, the Texas Tech legend with over 11,000 career yards, is the deep threat who stretches defenses thin. Without him, Tampa leans on rookies like Emeka Egbuka, who snagged 2 touchdowns his debut. Kid's got hands like glue. And tight end Ko Kieft, out for the year with a leg injury, per reports. It's a war of attrition, but Mayfield thrives in chaos, doesn't he? Speaking of the trenches, because let's face it, this game's going to be won or lost right there in the mud, as Mayfield put it. This game is going to be won in the trenches. That's the way we like it. We trust our big boys. Enter Saquon Barkley, the former Giant turned Eagle who's supposed to be the thunder to Hurts lightning. Last year with New York, he exploded for over 2,000 rushing yards, a monster season that had us all wondering if he was the next Barry Sanders. But 2025? It's been a slow burn, averaging just 64.7 yards per game and 3.3 per carry, with a measly 46 on 18 totes against the Rams. Facing Tampa's D-line, which hasn't surrendered a 100-yard rusher in 11 straight games. League-leading stingy. Saquon's got to find that burst. Remember his debut in green? A house call against the Packers that had the link erupting like it was the 60s with Timmy Brown juking defenders. If Barkley breaks loose, watch out. If not, the Eagles' O-line, anchored by that grizzled vet Lane Johnson, who's limited with a stinger but expected to get out, will need to pancake those Bucs. On the flip side, the Eagles' D is no slouch, ranking top 5 in sacks early on, with Jordan Davis anchoring the middle like Reggie White used back in the 90s. Reggie, the minister of defense, who terrorized QBs with 198 sacks over his career, including that iconic Eagles tenure that still echoes in the rafters. Davis's block last week? Pure Reggie vibes. But injuries are biting hard. Nolan Smith, that speedy edge rusher drafted to pair with Hasten Reddick, goes to IR along with cornerback Jacorian Bennett and wide-out Darius Cooper. Zach Bond's nursing a knee, Jahad Campbell a triceps, Adore Jackson a groin. No practice of them Wednesday. It's a hit, but Philly's depth, guys like Bryce Huff stepping up, keeps them humming. Tampa's hurting too. Evans out, Wirfs and Godwin eyeing season debuts as end-of-week evals, per bowls. Levante David limited with a knee, Logan Hall sidelined by a groin. It's a chess match, folks, with both sides' pawns falling. Bucs coach Todd Bowles nailed it this week. They play with a lot of confidence. There's skill at every position on both sides of football, and they understand how to win. That's huge in this league. Confidence? You bet. The Eagles are the defending champs. After all, hoisting Lombardi in February after that epic 34-27 grind over the Chiefs. But rewind the clock. Eagles-Bucs history is a roller coaster. All time, it's a dead-even 9-9. But those Tampa playoff punches in 21 and 23, they sting like a Cowboys rivalry loss on Thanksgiving. Think back to 2002. Bucs steamrolled to Super Bowl 37, beating the Eagles in the NFC title game at the Link, with Brad Johnson outdueling a young Donovan. Or 2000, when Philly upset Tampa in the divisional round en route to their first Super Bowl trip. It's poetic, isn't it? Two franchises born in the 70s, both chasing glory. Philly with that underdog soul, Tampa with the pirate flair. And don't get me started on the NFC East ties. While the Cowboys and Giants lurk as eternal foes, the Fly Eagles Fly chant drowning out Jerry Jones' boos. Games like this test if the Birds can dominate beyond the division. Let's break down the tactics, because as a Philly guy through and through, I live for this X's and O's stuff. Nick Sirianni's Eagles run a Shanahan-style scheme. Zone runs, play-action bootlegs that free up A.J. Brown on crosses and Devonta Smith on digs. Brown's back from whatever bug bit him early. 6 catches, 109 yards, and a score against the Rams, vintage A.J., the Ole Miss missile who torched Tampa last time he played them. Without Brown and those prior losses? Coincidence? I think not. Defensively, Vic Fangio's bringing that old-school cover 3. mixing man up top to jam receivers at the line. Perfect against Mayfield's quick releases. But Bowles? He's the blitz king, disguising pressures with safeties like Antoine Winfield Jr. creeping in like a ninja. Stats bear it out. Philly's allowing just 18 points per game, third fewest. Tampa's coughing up 22, but forcing turnovers like it's candy. Mayfield's 0 picks a testament to that. Comparatively, Hurts' 65% completion rate edges Mayfield's 62%. But Baker's got more air yards per attempt, stretching the field. Rushing, Eagles at 140 yards per game, top 5. BUCS at 137th. It's even, except Philly's red zone efficiency. 70% touchdown rate versus Tampa's 55%. Who stops the run? That's the million-dollar question. With Philly's front four, Davis, Carter, Sweat, versus Tampa's no 100-yard club. Imagine this. I'm courtside, or should I say, sideline, with Jalen Hurts post-practice. Jalen, Tampa's haunted you. How you shake it? He'd grin that million-dollar smile and say, "Man, it's all about the now. We got the best fans, the best city. Philly's energy fuels us. We're not just playing for wins. We're playing for that ring again, for the kids chanting, 'Fly, Eagles, fly' at recess." Cut to a fictional huddle with Saquon. "Bro, those 11-game no-rush streaks? That's fuel. Last year I danced through giants. This year I'll bulldoze BUCS." And from the Tampa side, picture Bowles in his gravelly voice. "Philly's tough, but we've got heart. Evans out, we rally. It's pirate code. Adapt or walk the plank." Fans? Oh! The Philly faithful would chime in from a tailgate. "Yay, Jill, yes. We've beaten the Pats, the world. Time to plunder Tampa." It's that passion, that blue-collar fire from a city that once booed Santa, but loves its birds like family. Looking ahead, the implications here are massive. A win catapults Philly to 4-0, sole possession of the NFC's best record. With the Cowboys up next in that blood feud, imagine sweeping the East again, like 17 when they stormed the Super Bowl on a Philly parade wave. Lose, and those playoff scars reopen, plus the draft implications? Nah, we're not thinking tank. This team's built for January. Expert takes? Fictional scout buddy of mine, call him Eagle Eye Eddie, says Hurts exploits Tampa's secondary without Evans. Project 300 yards, 3 scores. Barkley cracks 100 if Johnson holds. BUCS cover, but Eagles by 6. Predictions: Philly 27-24. Hurts with a game-sealing scramble. Playoff path: clearer than the Schuylkill on a good day. Division title by week. Revenge tour. But wait, there's more to this Eagles saga. Trivia time to fire you up. Did you know the Fly, Eagles Fly chant dates back to a 1980s marching band stunt, but exploded post 2017 when half the city stormed the field? Wait, no, the parade. After beating the Pats? Or that Reggie White, the minister, signed with Philly in '86 as a free agent, sparking the bird resurgence? Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, with those flying tackles that'd make Wolverine jealous. His jersey retirement still gives goosebumps. And pop culture? This matchup's got Rocky vibes. Underdog Philly invading Florida, like Balboa training on those beach steps. Current events? With the world buzzing about AI and space races. The Eagles are XAI's spirit animal. Innovative, relentless. Built by underdogs like Elon's crew. Tie it all together. This is Philly tough. Eagles eternal. As the sun sets on another week, Eagles Nation, I implore you, grab your green, crank up some Meek Mill, and tune in Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Watch from the link, your couch, or that dive bar on Broad Street. Cheer like it's 17. Believe like it's destiny. Because when the birds take flight, the whole NFC feels a win. This is your game, your team, your moment. Fly, Eagles fly. On to Tampa and beyond. I'm your host, signing off with green in my veins. Until next time, keep the faith.